Hey everyone, my name is Mike. I'm a business advisor here at Odoo. Uh, we're going to wait a while till more people filter in here. But in the meantime, if you guys want to leave in the chat where you're viewing from, that would be great. But we're going to give people about 2 minutes to filter in. Thanks. All right, we're just going to give people one more minute to filter in here. Sorry for the delay. All right, just a couple more seconds till we get started here. All right, I think everyone who's joining is in by now, so let's go ahead and get started. My name is Mike Steenbeck. I'm a business advisor for Odoo, uh, and let's hop into it. All right, first I want to talk about what my role here is at Odoo. Basically, what I do on a day-to-day basis, I talk to business owners about what problems they're currently facing with their current software solution, or if they even have a software solution and they're still paper pen. Basically, I talk to them, we figure out what the problem is, and how Odoo can help. Then I hop into learning about what they want out of their next software, and if Odoo is possible of helping them out. Then we do a live demo of Odoo to see how Odoo would work with their current workflows. Then we discuss best practices of Odoo, how Odoo can fit in their business, or how their business can fit into Odoo. Finally, once the business owner signs up, that's when I get into my account management role. I help with just making sure that it's a seamless integration into uh, the Odoo community, making sure that you're able to find our 24/5 helpline and help desk tickets. Next, I just want to touch on the agenda real quick. First off, we're going to talk about what is Odoo. Then we're going to talk about the Odoo rental app, which is why most of you guys are here today. And then we're going to hop into a live demo of the Odoo rental app. So first, let's talk about Odoo. Odoo has an app for every need. We're a full-scale ERP. We have everything from CRM, sales management, document management, contacts app, uh, virtual sign, project management, manufacturing, and the list goes on and on. It's really an all-in-one, all-encompassing business management software. And that's what this next slide really illustrates. As you can see here, this is typically what our customers are dealing with. They're on Google Calendar, they're using ADP, they're using Excel to track their inventory, they're using Salesforce, they're using Slack, they're using DocuSign. All these apps, and it just causes a nightmare for the accounting and billing departments of these customers of Odoo's, because they constantly have to pay all these different vendors. And on top of that, it creates headaches for the end users of the software because they don't always integrate seamlessly and can communicate with one another. And that's where Odoo comes in, is we're going to be able to integrate all of Odoo's apps together. They're going to be able to communicate. It creates a more seamless workspace and software environment. And once again, this is another illustration of that. Your company's on the left-hand side and your customers on the right-hand side. And everything in between you and your customers, Odoo can pretty much handle. Once again, subscriptions, accounting. We have a whole host of HR apps. And we also have a really cool app called Studio, which you can see right here with the wrench and pen. Basically, the way people describe Studio is it's like having a developer in your back pocket. You're able to customize Odoo to better fit your needs. It's a really awesome tool. Next, we're going to talk about the basics of Odoo rental and why use it. So once again, part of an integrated solution. Um, this is what truly makes Odoo special, is it's all in one place. And that actually brings up my next point, which is the one app flow. Uh, this is the cool part about the Odoo rental app, is it combines your inventory app, your invoicing, and even your virtual sign app. It's going to be all in one place, all in one flow, so you don't have to hop between web pages and Google Chrome pages. And finally, a really cool feature of Odoo Rental is going to be the smart billing. It calculates the cheapest rate for your customers. So you're going to see this later in the demo, but if you have one day that costs $100 and a 3-day deal that costs $250, when you create a quotation for 3 days, it'll jump to that $250 pricing, opposed to charging the customer 3 $100 days. All right, so from here, let's hop into a demo. So this is a typical Odoo database. As you can see, we have our apps listed out here. It kind of looks similar to your smartphone. That's very much intentional. And for the people who are familiar with Odoo, you probably already know this trick. But for the people who are new to it, this is a really cool trick I use every day at my job, which is I can just quickly type in CRM and I can access the CRM app. Really cool shortcut Odoo has. And even taking this a step further, you could type in something more specific like products, and now I'm able to hop into the products page of my sales app directly from the home screen, which is like really nice, super cool shortcut. Saves a ton of time. Um, so I kind of want to paint a picture for you right now. So my company, it's called MRZ. What we do is we rent copiers out to customers who, when their copier breaks down, or if they simply need a copier for a day or a week, we rent them out to them. And one of our best customers can be found in our contacts app. So once again, using that shortcut, I'm going to hop into contacts. And this is where I want to introduce you to one of my favorite customers, Brandon, right here. Brandon Freeman from Azure Interior. So if I click in on him, I want to point a few things out. This is our contacts app. It's a free app. And it's basically just where you're going to store all your customers' information or company's information or employees' information. Just like you'd use on your smartphone, it's essentially the same thing with more data. So address type, company address, job position, phone, email, all going to be stored within and captured within the contacts app. Also, the amount of times we've invoiced this customer and for how much. So Brandon's my favorite customer. I've invoiced him for $950. And another thing before I leave the contacts app, I wanted to point out a pretty consistent feature throughout Odoo, which is this top rectangle here. We're going to see me, I'm Mitchell Admin, a search feature where you're able to search for an individual such as Brandon. And finally, we have our group by. So you can group by company, country, salesperson. And these variables change based off app. And you can also filter by the same metrics. This is going to change, these variables will change per app. All right, so remember Brandon, he's going to be coming up later in the demo. Now let's hop into the rental app. All right, rentals. So as you can see here, this is the rentals dashboard. So you're able to see all the current sales orders that you have out in the rental app. Another consistent feature throughout Odoo that's on a lot of our apps is the ability to switch from a Kanban view to a list view. So this is currently the Kanban view. As we can see, we have the customer name and company, the sales order associated with this order, and the price. If we switch to the list view, same information, plus order date, sales order number, customer, me, the salesperson, and the rental status. I prefer Kanban view. I just think it's prettier. I like colors. The next thing I want to point out is on the y-axis here, we have the rental status. And you're able to parse out more specifically what you want to look at. So let's say that you have that customer, you can't remember their name, but you know that they picked up their product already. You're able to just click here and see all the picked up items that are currently out in your rental thing. It looks like Deco Addict was the customer I was thinking about. Secondly, we have the returned items you can see here. Then the confirmed. So what this is a confirmed sales order, and we're simply waiting for a customer to come by and pick it up. Secondly, we have quotation. These are quotations that have been sent out but have yet to be signed. We also can view the invoice status in the same way. Any fully invoiced sales orders or any sales order that have nothing to invoice or things that you still need to invoice. So that's all very accessible on the left-hand side here, really cool. And once again, just to reiterate this, the top half of the screen, or top rectangle here, we have the ability to filter by to-dos and lates. And you can also kill this filter and get back right to the rentals. We can also group by salesperson or customer. Once again, just a way to organize your web page. Really cool, really convenient. The next thing I want to talk about is these tabs we have up here. So reporting, this is where you're going to be able to generate reports. We have a couple different variables right here that you can play with, along with the way you're going to display this data, pie charts, bar chart, etc. And this is also heavily customizable through Studio, which is an app I touched about earlier, but we're not going to dive deep into Studio today. Second tab I want to talk about here is the Schedule tab. So this is going to give you a Gantt view of all your rentals that are currently involved in a sales order. So as you can see on the y-axis here, we have the month and the date. You can also switch it up by year, month, week, or day, depending on how your company rents products out. So let's just take a look at the month. We can see that Deco Addict is from the 3rd to the 7th, and it's sales order 21. They're supposed to pick it up on the 3rd and return it on the 7th, and the status of that is going to be a late return, so they haven't returned it yet. So really easy, really convenient to view that if you just simply hover over the sales order. All right, and finally, let's hop into products. So as you can see here, we have our 4 products that are available to rent. And I also want to point out in the search feature right here that it says can be rented. If I kill this filter and close it out, you're going to see that we have a whole host of different products now. And this is because Odoo is integrated with our inventory app. Odoo knows this, so it only showed the rental to begin with because we're in the rental app. But just to kind of proof of concept it, if we hop into the inventory app and we go to the products, you see these same products here. As we did in the rental app. So hopping back to rental. All right, so back to the products. So we actually just got a new product here at MRZ. So I'm going to create the product right now and show you how simple it is to create a product. So it's a Xerox. I'm going to add our photo. We're going to make sure it's a storable product. We're going to save. We're going to make sure that it can be rented. Then we're going to hop into the rental tab here. And we're going to add our prices. So for one day, we're going to charge $100. And we're going to add a 3-day special deal where we offer 3 days for $250 and 7 days for $700. And we're going to hit save. Last thing I need to do is update the inventory of how many products I have on hand. So we're going to say we have 10 on hand. All right, so we've just built a product to be rented in Odoo. Now let's create a rental product order. Excuse me. All right, so we're going to find our guy Brandon right here. And I just want to point out how his name, Brandon, has been pulled up from the contacts app. His invoicing address has been pulled up. And his delivery address has been pulled up. All this data was pulled from the contacts app. So that's super simple. All I really had to do as the end salesperson was type in Brandon, and all that information was populated. Finally, I have to add the product in which we are renting to Brandon. So we're going to rent out the Xerox Alta. As you can see here, it says the dates that he wants to rent them are for 9th and the 10th. And to better illustrate Odoo Smart Billing, as you can see here, 1 by 1 day is 100. If we change it to 3 days, or excuse me, 2 days, you can see the billing is 2 days by 100. If we change it to 3 days, excuse me, you can see that it is now 250, which is that special we talked about earlier in the call when we talked about Odoo Smart Pricing. So duration 3 days, quantity 1, unit price 250. And we're going to add. Finally, we're going to hit save. Sorry, I'm having like throat problems right now. And as you can see, we have created a quote for one Xerox Alta link. And for demo purposes, I'm going to hit confirm. But just to illustrate how the chatter works on the right-hand side, we're going to hit mark quote is sent. As you can see, the status of the quote went from quote to quote sent. And now we're going to hit confirm. Excuse me 1 second. Sorry about that. I'm having allergies. All right. So we have effectively just sent the customer quote to Brandon. And it's not a perfect world, so we have to wait for Brandon to come pick it up. We're going to hop back to our dashboard. So as you can see here, we have the Brandon sales order right here, waiting for it to get picked up. It's supposed to get picked up on the 9th, which is today. Brandon's running late. His kid was at soccer practice. He forgot to pick him up on the way over here. So he's got to turn around, go pick up his kid, come back and pick up the proper copier. So we're going to click into this. And we're going to say he picked it up. We're going to validate it. And effectively, he has just picked up the copier. As you can see here, this has all been tracked in the chatter. He finally picked up the Xerox. And the next natural step is to either return it or create an invoice. So we're going to fast forward a couple days, see that Brandon returned it. All right, so Brandon has now returned the copier. And the next logical step is to create an invoice. Once again, this is where I touched on the one app flow. We haven't left the rental app, but we've been able to create a sales quote, show that it's been picked up, and create an invoice. And we're going to confirm to post the invoice. All right, so at this point in the process, we're pretty much done. All that's left is to either register this as a payment or send and print. So we're going to register it. And as you can see, the sales quote has been created, and we're going to hop back to the rental app. So that's the general flow of the rental application. Very simple, very straightforward. Now, hopping back to our Google Slides here, do you guys have any questions that you would like to ask me? All right, I'll give you guys two more questions, two more minutes for questions. If you have any other additional questions, you can email me at msk@odoo.com. Finally, come join us at Odoo Experience. You can register at experience.odoo.com. We're releasing our 50th version of Odoo on October 6th and 7th. Thank you for joining me, and follow us on social media. We have a Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, and of course YouTube. Have a great day.